Hello, beautiful people. It is Giddy, and hello, my very neglected YouTube channel. Good to see y'all again. And I just wanted to go over the Modern Warfare 4 beta because I'll be honest, I haven't had a lot of motivation to stream or really even play that many games lately. You know, I still game, but not anything that I really want to make content on or stream or anything like that, you know. Something about content creation is you really need the motivation and the urge to do it, or else it just feels flat and fake. And I've always tried to be as genuine with that stuff as I can be. And so I don't ever want to force myself to play anything or stream anything that I don't want to play or stream. So that's kind of why I've been MIA. And as far as YouTube, you know, this is what I started out doing, right? Like, Call of Duty is what I started my channels on back in 2008. Was my first YouTube channel. I was making Call of Duty montages with my my Dazzle Platinum. All of you OGs will probably remember what that is. But you know, it was just so fun and fresh, and we really didn't realize just how good we had it with those Call of Duties back then. It's been a long time since I've played a Call of Duty game where I'm so addicted to it and want to play it more that, you know, it wasn't uncommon for me to have, I don't know, 12-hour gaming sessions, or, you know, it was just so fun. And now when I play modern Call of Duty games, I play one game and I'm like, damn, bro, I really kind of want to get off. Even if I'm absolutely smashing the other team, there's just something about it. The magic is lost, I guess, is maybe a way to put it. But I've been playing the Modern Warfare 4 beta, and just to be completely transparent, I got an instant refund almost. I played probably 3 or 4 games, and then I was just like, you know, this just isn't for me, because Call of Duty has not felt the same since, man, probably Black Ops 2, right? I'm trying to think back to the ones that I just really loved playing. I'm not really sure when SBMM like truly got like super mega cranked, but I don't think people realize, especially if you're new to Call of Duty, you don't realize how much of a difference that skill-based matchmaking actually makes towards the amount of fun that you have in a game. You know, I started playing Call of Duty on Call of Duty 2. This was like late 2005. That's like the first experience I had with COD, and Jesus Christ, I fell in love with it almost instantly. And I think something that a lot of modern Call of Duty games don't have that they used to, that also makes a massive difference, is simplicity. With every new Call of Duty game that comes out, there's so many settings, there's so many things that you have to change to even make it somewhat palatable, you know? Why is there settings for motion blur and all these different things? You know, the first thing I always do, I get on the game and I mess with my settings. And the fact that it takes me 15 to 20 minutes to really dial in my settings how I want them is a problem, right? I think that every game should have settings options that, you know, people with preferences can change. But damn, bro, eventually it gets to a point where it's a little much. And these last several modern Call of Duty games, it's just too much. There's too many things you can change, too much clutter. A lot of these maps would flow a lot better if there wasn't so much shit on them. You know, a lot of the Modern Warfare 4 beta maps, they weren't terrible, and I'm a guy that really likes small maps. I like chaos and action and shit like that. And there's just too much. There's too many buildings. There's too many windows. If you think back to an amazing classic map, let's just think of, like, I don't know, Backlot from COD 4 or something like that. There's not a whole lot of building clutter. There's a few buildings that you can get into, but they're pretty open for the most part. There's that one in the middle that's pretty closed off, but it has a lot of windows, easy to infiltrate. If somebody's hiding in there, they're not hiding in there for long. But the only other buildings you can really get into are the buildings that kind of are on the edge of the map around the outside, and they're not really buildings you can hide in that well. The modern Call of Duties have so many fucking places you can hide and just play like an absolute weasel that people do it because it's effective. And it doesn't really matter how good you are at COD. It's hard to counter stuff like that. It's hard to counter that kind of gameplay. And I don't know. There's just so many things that make it not feel like it used to feel. And man, that SBMM, it is the biggest problem. I will say, with all the overwhelming problems that Modern Warfare 4 has that I just didn't like, the matchmaking is the single biggest issue. And a lot of new school Call of Duty players just won't understand. If you didn't get to experience those old lobbies that had no SBMM and it was based on connection, which, by the way, a lot of people like to repeat this misinformation from the Call of Duty devs where they're like, there was always some form of matchmaking in the older Call of Duty games. Yeah, you can say that for like, okay, all of these accounts have had the game for more than one day. That's matchmaking. That's some form of SBMM. So I don't know. They always like to talk about their data and this other bullshit. The data shows that people play more when we have SBMM. That's total horseshit. I don't give a fuck about the data. You know what's more important than data? Experience. I've been playing the fucking game for over 20 years. So I definitely know the difference, especially for how things felt back in the day. And even to this day, if you get on Call of Duty 4, a game that turns 20 years old in 2027, you can find a game instantly, almost few seconds. You play these modern Call of Duties, it does its little stupid ass calculations figuring out what group you should be matched up with, absolutely kills queue times, and you end up spending more time in the lobby than you do in game. It's such an issue. It has been such an issue for so long. There's so many things that are wrong with skill-based matchmaking in a casual playlist. I don't care if there's skill-based matchmaking in league play or ranked. That is where it belongs. You're supposed to be matched with people that are your equal skill level, because that's the whole idea. That's the sort of competitive integrity in that sense that makes sense, to match people based on how good they are at the game. When it's just a casual playlist, it is supposed to be a clusterfuck. You're supposed to have little Timmy born without an arm and Optic Scump on a silver account on the same team and mixed and matched, you know? Something that was so fun that a lot of people, if you're unk like me, will remember back in Call of Duty 4 or World at War or the original Modern Warfare 2. It would just put everybody in there, and a lot of the times you'd have a really good player on one team and a really good player on the other, and there would almost kind of be a weird little rivalry. Like, the only person you were trying to match was that top guy on the other team, and your teammates being fodder, or the enemy teammates being fodder, decided it a lot of the times, right? Depending on if you're playing Modern Warfare 2, that stupid ass kill streak system. Am I the only one, little side tangent here, am I the only one that views Modern Warfare 2 through, like, I don't know, a different lens? I think a lot of people view it with these rose-tinted glasses, remembering all the good things. Like, the gunplay felt awesome, the connection felt awesome, it was like hit scan as soon as you shot, the bullets hit, that was awesome, felt so good. The graphics for the time were great, the gameplay, the audio, the atmosphere, everything about Modern Warfare 2 almost was amazing. But there was so many things that fucked that game up. Painkiller, the care package glitch, the javelin glitch. There were so many issues, bro, that took forever to fix. And the fact that your kill streaks got you kill streaks, got you kill streaks that got you a nuke. The fact that you could get a nuke from basically getting a Predator missile, people think that that was good. I don't know. I think a lot of people view that game through nostalgia. Not saying it's not a good COD, but it wasn't as good as everybody likes to say it is. But anyways, little side I completely forgot what I was talking about because of that tangent. But yeah, you know, skill-based matchmaking just doesn't belong in casual playlists. You're supposed to be put in a game, and if you're against somebody better, you will get better because you're learning things that you don't already know from this person that's leagues fucking better than you. If you are matched against people of your equal skill, what are you learning? At the low end of the spectrum and at the high end of the spectrum, you're not learning anything. You're against the same skill, so you basically both already know everything you know. You're not learning anything new. So You know, it's just one of those things where I used to get my fucking ass kicked whenever I first started COD 4 and COD 2. And watching these guys in game and learning their movements, the way they shot, what guns they were using, like all these different strategies made me a better player. And I think the fact that those of us that are good are punished by being placed against other guys that are freaks is a real problem, bro. And there's a lot of people that are like, well, my Modern Warfare 4 lobbies weren't really that bad. Like, I had a really good time. I was kicking ass. These people weren't world beaters like everybody else is saying. I got some bad news for you, bro. You are in like the lowest, like, protected skill bracket. You are against literal shitters because the devs think you belong there. So if you are having easy lobbies in the MW4 beta, I do have some bad news for you. But for those of us that have been playing this game for so many years, dude, it is a chore. The fact that we can't play and compete without using meta weapons, meta kill streaks, playing super passive, because if you play aggressive, you'll get killed by some dude cosplaying a lamp in the corner. It is a problem. So that's my biggest issue, is the matchmaking. The maps, like I said, there's a lot of bullshit, a lot of clutter. That kind of ruins the flow. But I don't know, man. I think that's just kind of a thing that they do now. I don't know what happened to the COD devs of old. I don't know where they're at now. I don't know why we have the C team working on the game every year now. But yeah, dude, the gunplay, it wasn't bad. You know, Call of Duty gunplay is always pretty similar no matter who's making the game. I will say this about the Modern Warfare series ever since 2019. I actually am one of the few people, I think, that prefer kind of the gritty, realistic atmosphere of the game as opposed to Black Ops, you know, fucking lasers, people having wings, so colorful. Like, I don't really like the cartoony shit for war games. Like, I like the actual war aesthetic. So I kind of like that. Mouse input doesn't feel great. Aim assist has been kicked up to 10,000 this year, which is saying something because aim assist has been fucking busted for as long as I can remember now. So the fact that I'm in the top tier SBMM lobbies, I'm on an inferior input because I don't want to use an input that fucking aims for me. If you guys want to do some research on this, by the way, there's clips everywhere on Twitter, on YouTube, but there's clips of people using controller and all they have to do is touch their left stick, their movement stick, because rotational aim assist is so strong that they don't have to touch their right stick to track people. Do people not understand how bad that is? Like, throw competitive integrity out the window, right? Like, it's just one of the reasons that I don't want to use controller, is because how do you feel satisfied having a robot get all your kills for you? You know what I mean? And people always use this dumbass excuse like, well, Call of Duty's a controller game. First off, Call of Duty's a shooter game. All right, mouse and keyboards for shooters, controllers for fucking fighting games and racing games. But it's still a really dumb argument. Just like the argument where people are like, well, you play mouse and keyboard, you can aim with your whole arm. Which is true, I can aim with my whole arm. But the thing is, I have to do all the aiming. So not exactly a good argument. So aim assist, busted as fuck. It definitely has to be tuned down, especially if they're going to keep this stupid ass SBMM in the game, where if I have a high score per minute, I go against controller demons with high score per minute. Like, I'm going to get fucking thrashed. I don't care if SBMM is this strong. If I'm being put in lobbies with everybody, right? Because then I can have my fun dopamine gunfights with the people that aren't as good, and occasionally get shit on by people that, you know, have their nose on the monitor and are letting the sticks do everything for them. As if there's some kind of mixture there, I don't mind the super strong aim assist as much. But I don't know, man. It just has so many problems. I had pre-ordered the Vault Edition like a dumbass, but instantly refunded my $100 the first day because, bro, how can you put out a product in that state and be proud of it? Once again, I don't care what they say the data shows. I think the fact that the game lost 75% of its player base after the first day of the beta really tells you all you need to know. You don't need to hear any context other than that to know that there's an issue. So I don't know if they're going to address anything. they're notorious for not addressing shit. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty betas. The very first Call of Duty beta I ever played, now this'll age me, was World at War in 2008. So, you know, I've played some betas, and this one was by far the worst. So, anyways, that was my experience with the beta. There's so much more to talk about, but this video is already long as hell. So maybe I'll make another if there's more things I feel like I need to talk about. But appreciate you guys sticking around, and I'll see you later.